Every morning is an opportunity to connect with Jesus. Whether you're looking to get started or looking to grow more, DDPC is for you. Join us as we connect with Jesus together.
All right. Here we go. Well, you can't even see me over there. Hang on. There we are. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Labor Day edition of DDPC. We're going to see how many of you are sleeping in and enjoying your Labor Day, and how many of you are engaged and awake and starting off your day the right way with the DDPC. Oh, I did that right. DDPC. Cool. It's a new thing. See me, anyway. But listen, God bless you all. Thank you for being a part of the stream this morning. And so far, all 10 of you. That's okay. It's good. Hope that you're having a great morning. Oh, 9. I just lost. Oh man, I'm losing viewership. What in the world? Sorry, didn't mean to insult you. Goodness. All right. Well, then we're going to get right into this and let you get on your way today. But I do hope that you have a lovely Labor Day holiday, and that you spend some time with family and friends, and just do a little relaxing and not have to do too much. Although many people do have to work. So anyway, today I want to talk about run the race you're in. Run the race you're in. A lot of times we get frustrated because we want to be running a different race. We want to be somewhere else. We want to be in that job or in that season of life, or have that financial status, or to just be. We know that something's ahead of us, but we can't seem to focus in on where we're at because we're wanting to be somewhere else that's in the future. Your teenagers deal with this. They're sophomores in high school and they're like, I just want to be in college. I'm like, do high school really, really well, and then get in college. And in college, like, I just want to get married, and like, just do college really well, run the race you're in, and not the race that you're always thinking about being in. So speaking of graduation, my graduation year, 1990s, when I graduated high school, there's a lady by the name of Georgine Johnson. She lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and she was a little bit depressed. She had turned 42 years old, and she had decided that she needed to get in better shape for the second half of her life. And so she really took to this. And so Georgine began to exercise. And then exercise kind of leaned into jogging, and then jogging to running. And she got kind of addicted to this. And I don't understand the euphoria of running. I never have. I find running quite painful and not relaxing. But a lot of people say that it's an endorphin rush, and that you get stimulated, and it's almost addicting, right? And that's what happened to her. So she decided that she really needed was a goal which to focus on. So she said, I'm going to run a 10K. So she entered into a 10K. Now a 10K is about 6 miles. And so she enters this 10K race, and she began training. Now, fast forward, the day of the race, she was so excited and she was ready to go. And so she arrived to the starting blocks early. And she was just I remember years ago, my wife and I did a 39-mile walk to raise money for breast cancer research. This was in Boston, and the energy that's at that starting line, the excitement, and the people, and the music, and the encouragement that's going on, it gets you all pumped up. And that must have been how Georgina felt, because she arrived to the starting line early, and she was so distracted by all the runners as they prepped and as they stretched. And before you knew it, the horn sounded and for the runners to line up, and Georgine followed the pack to the starting line, and the gun went off and they were off. And she was about 4 miles into the race. And typically on a 10K, there's you get 3 miles in, and then there's a turnaround. You go 3 miles back. And so she was like 4 miles in, and she had not seen a turnaround sign. And so Georgine, while jogging, she asked a fellow runner, "Hey, when do you expect to start heading back?" And the other runner just kind of looked at her strangely. In fact, she said, quote, "He kind of looked at me strangely, like, are you for real?" And it was then that she realized that she did not enter the 10K race at all. She had entered the Cleveland Marathon. Both races shared the same finish line, but the 10K was set to start 15 minutes after the marathon started. And what I mean by the starting block, they shared the same starting line. So all the marathon runners would gather, they would fire the gun, they would run and empty out, and then all the 10K runners would come in behind, and they would run the 10K, which obviously is, 20 miles less than the marathon. And but because she was so excited, she got to that line early. She was distracted by all that was going on. And so now she's in a marathon. So she just kept running, and she was kind of looking for somebody to help. Well, 26 miles later, she crosses the finish line. Her previous longest run was 8 miles. And it's reported that when she was asked what went through her mind as she faced that challenge, she said, and here's the quote, "This is not the race I trained for. This is not the race that I entered. But for better or worse, this is the race that I'm in." Now, no doubt there will be moments in your life, maybe today, when you find yourself in a bit overwhelmed by the circumstances around you. And it's not going to be the race that you trained for. And it's not going to be the race that you entered. It might not even be the race you want to be in, but it is the race that you're in. And it's at that point that you will have to decide what you're going to do. The author of Hebrews put it this way in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders, the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross and scorned its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." And I think the writer of Hebrews here really illustrates this well, that, listen, you're in a race. You're in a race for eternity. And there are a lot of things that can hinder you in that race. Running, like any other sport, is highly mental. You have got to have a determination that, they say Boston Marathon runners speak of the wall. When they're about 20 miles into the race, with about a little over 6 miles left, they hit what's called the wall. And the wall usually hits them right at what's called Heartbreak Hill. There's a hill. If you've been to Boston, you know where the giant Citgo sign is. It's an iconic sign, and it's part of the markings of the Boston Marathon. And it's when you hit that area around where that sign's at, there's this giant hill that you have to go up, and it's called Heartbreak Hill. And more runners give up on that hill than anywhere else in the race. And so friends of mine who have run the Boston Marathon have said, you have got to condition yourself, and you have to think, this pain is temporary. This moment is fleeting. It's going to pass. I've got to press on. And that's what the writer of Hebrews says. He says, listen, throw off everything that hinders the sin that so easily entangles. Throw it off, get rid of it, shed it from your physical body, from your mind, from your spirit, from your mental faculties, and run your race. Maybe it's not the race you want to be in. Maybe it's not the race you trained for, but it's the race you're in. And persevere through that race because it's been marked out for you. And Jesus is at the finish line and he's saying, fix your eyes on him. Don't worry about Heartbreak Hill. Don't worry about that you entered a 6-mile race and now you're in a 26-mile one. Don't worry about the fact that everybody else might be faster or in better shape than you. Don't worry about any of those things. Pay them no mind. You keep your eyes fixed on the goal, and the goal is Jesus. Because you know why? Jesus kept his eyes fixed on you when he went to the cross and when he scorned its shame. The Bible says, for the grace set before him, the joy set before him, he endured the cross. You and I are his joy, and that's why he endured what he endured. And so my encouragement to you today is, man, if you found yourself in a race today that is, if you find yourself in a situation today that's less than optimal, right? It's not what you wanted. It's not what you were hoping for, but it's the race you're in. You know, I think about the flood victims that in our area. You know, a week ago Sunday, they woke up to a normal day. And it was their, you know, it was, for most of them, it's their one day off a week is Sunday. And maybe their plan was to mow the lawn or to go fishing or to spend time with family or to sleep in for the one day they can sleep in the week. Maybe they were getting together with friends that, you know, and it's their only time, or going out on a date or whatever. And, you know, by mid-afternoon, their houses are floating in the river. You know, there's nothing, they're in that race. That's not what they trained for. It's not what they hoped for, but it's the race they're in. And now everything they do is centered around getting their living and their dwelling back to a sustainable place. And you know, and you can get mad and you can throw up your arms and you can cry, and some of that's healthy, but man, you know, at the end of the day, you got to just press through, and you're going to get through it. It's not going to be easy, and it might be a heartbreak hill, and you may feel like quitting, and that's true. But man, in our life, the writer of Hebrews says, throw off all those doubts, throw off those things that so easily hinder you, throw them off, and keep your eyes focused on Jesus through it all. And so that's my encouragement to you today. Focus on him and run the race you're in. No matter if it's the race you trained for or the race that you wanted to be in, run the race you're in and run it with excellence and get across that finish line. And maybe you just set a new record in your own life. All right. Well, that's what I got for you today, guys. Let me say some quick shout outs to Paula Lavish, Michael Willis. Good to have you on Instagram. Lily, good to see you on. Lisa, nice to have. Are you ready? Jeanette Lynn Willis, everybody. Thank you for being on. My lovely wife, Elizabeth Orlando. Good to have you on. Robin Michaels in the house. Good to see you. Nice to have Andrew right there. You guys are sitting snuggly wuggly watching DDPC together. Good to see you, Andrew. Tony Fecciadori, good to have you on today. God bless all of you this morning. Rich Papsco, good morning. Jacqueline Campoli, Glenn Pace, Carrie Ann, Mick Andrew, Marty Main. My dad's also on Facebook today. Good to see you this morning. Good to have Tara on here, and Eric Light. Good to see you, bud. Nice to have Denise and Yvonne LeBlanc on today. Good to have Kim Sikelski and Joe. God bless you guys. Good to see Jenny Lapone and Eileen Thoma. Nice to have Melissa on, and Narda Allen and Ann and Mike McFadden. God bless the two of you. Catherine Pomeroy, good to see you. Catherine, good to have you today. Lauren Green on with us this morning. Sherry Blakeman, thank you for being on. Daniel Lozovikas, good to see you today. Nice to have see Deb Click on this morning. Mike B in the house. Good to have Cindy Wood. Good morning, y'all. She says that's a true Oklahoma y'all, people. Tina, nice to have you on this morning. Good to see you today. Nice to see who else is on here. That looks like it. So that's all that I'm seeing, but God bless you guys. Listen, thank you for having me in your living rooms, in your cars, on the treadmill with you this morning. Have a lovely day. Enjoy your Labor Day. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, wait a minute. I won't see you tomorrow. I am traveling tomorrow morning, and I will be on an airplane. So I'll see you Wednesday. All right. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.